What's up, everyone? Today we're back in the kitchen for another meal. I didn't have the luxury of recording it live this morning, but we're doing breakfast in this video. It's gonna be ground turkey, egg whites, and some fried up veggies. Now you might start to see a theme with some of my meals. I have like a cycle of things that I'll swap one or two things in and out to kind of shift the meal a little bit, but it helps to make sure that, I always kind of know and have the ingredients for things to eat that I know are healthy and high in protein, and gives me a little bit of variety. But let's get into it. So I like to have a variety of very easy, simple things to put together that I can have the things on hand that aren't going to go bad on me. I also like to cook more, extravagant and interesting meals, but I'm showing you more the bread and butter basics that I like to rely on. So we got my ground turkey. We're going to season it with the same seasoning I used in the other video. Very nice to have. It's a very nice flavor. And I'm frying up about 450 grams of ground turkey, and then I'm going to use about 100 grams of it, just a little over 100 grams of it in the meal. So one of those packs goes for about 4 meals for me in general. So I like to start by mostly keeping it kind of chopped and ground up at first and kind of fried up as a little patty. And once it's got a little bit of firm texture to it, then I kind of chop it up and move it around and allow more of an even cook through. Something you'll notice with this meal is that it's going to be extremely low carbs. And that's also a point that I can touch on to kind of share the flexibility. I have done this type of meal with leftover rice, and I just mix in with the whole batch once I add the eggs. I've done this meal with, some toast. I've done it with quinoa. You can pretty much add whatever carb you want to it, or you can even add a separate side dish to this meal, depending on what your goals are for the day in terms of your macros. I generally like to go more heavy on the protein for my first meal of the day after I've gone a long period without any meals, so I can get a generous stimulus to muscle protein synthesis. And then later on, I have more flexibility and freedom in terms of the carbs that I want to eat. But it also really does depend on if I have a variety of leftovers at hand. So we're plating it now to cool, and then we're gonna use that to mix in to the dish at the end. A little bit of a 5-second rule there. Don't want to waste anything with that. Next step is some frozen veggies. Now, this is a bit of a different variety than I typically use, but it's essentially the same thing. And 1 cup of frozen veggies, and I just season it generally with like some salt and pepper, and then a variety of herbs or other seasonings. I like to throw in some parsley, some oregano, and some basil, sometimes some thyme. It really is whatever you prefer, whatever your preferred seasonings are. And if you're not sure what to do, simple little salt and pepper is good. Montreal steak spice is pretty much good on anything. And like I said, thyme, basil, parsley, oregano, all seems to work well for me. It really helps to add a good chunk of flavor to the dish. And then once that's all fried up and seasoned, we're going to move on to the egg portion. I used to only cook with whole eggs, but then I decided to give these egg whites a try. It's quite nice, helps to keep the calories down depending, again, on what your goals are. But I have nothing against whole eggs. I often will have 3 to 5 as part of my breakfast. But I am currently trying to reduce a little bit of body fat, get a little bit more lean, and so we are going with the egg whites for this meal, and they have been working out quite nicely for me. Helps to add a lot of protein and a lot of, a little bit more filling meals, but not really a lot of calories. So it's fantastic. So a little over 100 grams of ground turkey, which I believe came out to 27 grams of protein. The egg whites came out to about 33 grams of protein, and that's 60 grams of protein in this breakfast with under 500 calories. And it was quite a filling meal, and it kept me full quite long because of how much protein was in there. Plus we still got some veggies in, and it tasted quite good as well. I do prefer whole eggs in there, but this was also quite nice. And again, you can mix in some rice. You can add another side like of some yogurt and fruit or some toast on the side. It really is up to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next video.